Hi, this is Bennie Naude, another short EFT tapping video to help the nervous system calm down, to give your immune system the best chance of protecting you. If you want to know more about EFT, the research and the science behind it, look up the works of Doctors Dawson Church and David Feinstein, and also Dr. Peter Stapleton in Australia. Tapping is very simple. We're going to stimulate some tapping points. You can just tap along with me. I'm going to suggest some phrases. Please substitute words so that whatever words you use resonate more with you than the words that I might be using. And also say it out loud if that's at all possible. If high levels of emotion come up, tap through them. And if at the end of the video there's still some left, we're going to focus specifically on grief and sadness in this one, and loss. If some of those emotions are still quite raw and high, then rewind the video and do some more tapping on it. Okay, we're going to tap on the side of the hand. Deep breath in and out. Even though I'm sad about, and complete that sentence. I accept myself and how I feel. Especially because I feel sad about, complete the sentence. I choose to treat myself with kindness. Even though I have this COVID sadness, I accept myself and how I feel. All this sadness about, complete the sentence, be as specific as you can. All this COVID sadness about. All this COVID sadness about. All this COVID sadness about. You know, sadness and grief is about having lost something. So consider what you've lost. You might have lost people, might have lost your freedom, might have lost your health, your income, your business. All this COVID sadness about. And I'm also sad about. What saddens me the most about COVID is and under the arms, all this COVID sadness. Hand on the heart, deep breath in, slow breath out. Okay, side of the hand, even though there is a lot to be sad about COVID, I accept myself and how I feel. Especially because there's a lot to be sad about COVID. I choose to treat myself with kindness. Even though there's a lot of COVID sadness, I accept myself and how I feel. The thing with emotions is quite often we pick up on collective emotions. So there's a lot of grief about COVID in the world, and you might also be feeling some of that. You might think it's your own, but it might actually also be the grief of other people and collectively the world. So all this collective sadness about COVID. All this sadness in the world right now about COVID. All the sadness about having lost friends and family. All the sadness for the families that have lost people to COVID. All the sadness about not having been able to say goodbye to someone. All the sadness about everything I've lost. I've lost my freedom. Now, for some of you, this would be true. I've lost my business. Lost my job. Lost my income. Lost my spontaneity. Lost my freedom to come and go as I please. All this loss about COVID. Now that I think about it, there's a lot to be sad about. All the sadness about how children are having to grow up right now. All the sadness for what the world has lost. Hand on the heart, deep breath in, slow breath out. Okay, let's do another round, tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I still feel some of this COVID sadness, I accept myself and how I feel. And I choose to treat myself with kindness. Top of the head, all this COVID sadness because all this COVID sadness about, complete the sentence as specifically as you can. What I've lost through COVID is, complete the sentence. And what I've also lost is, complete the sentence. All my sadness and grief about COVID, all this understandable and justified sadness and grief about COVID. Because I have lost a lot. Under the arms, and that's why I choose to treat myself with kindness. Hand on the heart, deep breath in, slow breath out. Okay, so check inside, check how the sadness and the grief is. Again, if strong emotions have come up, keep tapping, just tap through it. You can either rewind the video and do it again, or you can simply tap through the points while you do the best you can to tune into the sadness. The thing is, most of us don't like feeling sad, so you might want to try and avoid it or bypass it. The thing with grief is, the only way that it releases is if it releases. And tapping is a really good way to help release and process some of the sadness so that you can have a bit more space around the issue. So that's it for this video. Have a look at the other videos in the series, and please pass it on to anybody else that you think might find this useful.